I don't think there's any justifying this, is there? Hey everyone! As you will see from the title and the start of this video, this is going to be a big autumn book haul. I've done a few book hauls on this channel before, but none that have been quite this big. One was 30 books I think, but I think we've topped it this time with 40 books. A lot of these books were purchased over the last couple of months. I'd say from sort of like July onwards. And the majority of them I didn't buy. All of the books that are featured in this video are ones that I haven't mentioned yet. So if you are interested in some of the other books that I've mentioned, I will link a few vlogs and a few videos down below which have some other books in there as well. This isn't me like bragging in any way, I just love watching other people's hauls, so I thought I would share them with you. And because I've accumulated so many books over the last couple of months, I'm definitely in need of a book unhaul again. Back in March, April time, I did a massive book unhaul and I got rid of 50 books. So I'm hoping to do another book unhaul again soon, and I want to be really ruthless with the books. Without further ado, I will jump in. I think the first books I will talk you through are ones that I got in the charity shop. If you want to get some really good value books and you want to pick up books that are maybe aren't full price but are ones that you've been fancying, honestly just check out the charity shop. They're not just full of the Da Vinci Code and 50 Shades of Grey. I picked up the Chronicles of Narnia, and this is a full set of the books. I mean, it's not in perfect condition by any means, but I thought this was such a lovely set, and I don't actually own like a set of oh, I can't get that back in now. That's what she said. And the next three I will bunch in together, and they were Goosebumps books. This one is Welcome to Dead House, and this is the first ever Goosebumps book. And then we've got number 3, which is Stay Out of the Basement, and then we've got A Shocker on Shock Street, which is number 35. I've seen a few people on Bookstagram collecting the old Goosebumps books, and at first it was something I was a bit like, oh, I don't know whether I want to do that. And then I saw these and they were in a 4 for £1 deal, and I thought, you know what, I can't leave them there for that. And I loved Goosebumps growing up. It was one of the things that started me getting into horror, along with like Darren Shan and that sort of thing. So it will be cool to revisit the Goosebumps books. Following on from the theme of Goosebumps, I picked up this one as well. This is like a collection of the books. So it's got The Headless Ghost, The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena, and How I Got My Shrunken Head. And I'm sure I've read How I've Got My Shrunken Head before, but I don't think I've read the other two. And then the last 2 books. The first one is Tana French, Witch Elm, and this is a book that I keep hearing loads about, but I don't really know what the plot is about. Do you know when you see the book? But I know that is one that I'm probably going to enjoy. And along the same lines, oh god, my piles are falling over already, I picked up Richard Osman's The Thursday Murder Club. Embarrassingly, I realised only about 2 weeks ago that Richard Osman is actually the guy from Pointless. I felt so stupid when I realised, because obviously I knew his name was Richard Osman, but I didn't realise he'd written the book. Next, we'll go on to the new books that I've purchased recently. And I've only got 3. When I say I've only bought 3 in the last couple of months, that is a lie, because all of the other books that I've purchased have been in other videos. But the first one I picked up was Horror Store, and this is by Grady Hendrix, and I'm so excited to read this. Like, the size low-key does annoy me because I don't think it's going to fit on my bookshelves, but it's really cool. The second book that I purchased, this was a good couple of months ago, and it is Here the Whole Time, and it's by Victor Martins, and I purchased this to read with Read by Beth. It's one that's supposed to be absolutely fantastic, and if Beth has enjoyed it, I feel like I'm probably going to enjoy it as well. Last but not least, I picked up Mexican Gothic, and I picked this up in Waterstones when I went shopping with Keris from Library of Keris. Is one that's been on my TBR for a while. So next I'll talk about the Stephen King books that I have accumulated recently. So the first one is The Regulators, and I picked this up for £1 or £2, I can't actually remember. It's not a first edition or anything, but I thought it was cool, and it's the first Stephen King book really that I found in a charity shop, so very happy with that. Wizard and Glass, and this is part of the Dark Tower series, and I don't actually own any of the other Dark Tower books. I love a hardback Stephen King book. The last one, this is super cool. It is Stephen King's The Institute, and it's the Waterstone special edition. So as you can see, it's got gorgeous sprayed edges that are blue, and I actually won this through a competition that was run by the person who is like the admin and the owner of a Stephen King reading group that I'm in on Facebook. Everybody on there is super friendly, super lovely. These next two are ones that I was gifted. So the first one is Diana, and this is the book that was written by Andrew Morton, and I'm pretty sure this is the one, you know, the person who interviews her and gives backstory on her life and like everything that happens. My camera decided to run out of memory. Jane Austen, and this is the complete novels. I thought this would be quite cool to have just because it's all in one and it will look really cool on my classics shelf. The next books I'm going to talk about are ones that were gifted by my friends, and I say friends, pretty much all of these bar one was gifted by Linda. She's at Linda's Little Library. She's just one of my best friends and I love her to bits, and she spoils me way too much with the books that she sends me. And I've made a pact to make sure that I read the books that Linda's bought me. We talked about it and she sent me a list, and there is quite a few books that I need to read. She purchased for me Winter's Snow, and this is by Carrie Hope Fletcher, and it's just like a really short novella. The second one that she bought, actually I'll show you these two together. So we've got Nick and Charlie, and this is a solitaire novella, and then we've got I Was Born for This, and we've got a sort of thing going on you probably would have seen in a different video where basically like we both just buy each other Alice Oseman books all the time for like birthdays and Christmases. I don't quite know how it started, but here we are. We did. Last but not least, she bought me A Court of Frost and Starlight. I'm so excited to read this book, and I am currently sort of 200 pages into A Court of Wings and Ruin. Me and Linda are planning on reading this one together. Last out of the gifted ones is The Reckless Afterlife of Harriet Stoker, and this is by Lauren James, and this was sent to me by the lovely Emma. She's at Spooky Books on Instagram, and honestly she's one of the loveliest people I've met on Instagram, and she saw that I wasn't very well and that I was feeling a bit rubbish, and she sent me a little book to say like, hope you feel better soon. Okay, we've got 3 piles left. I think next I'm gonna jump into the massive pile that I had off another fantastic friend, and she is Amy at Tomes with Tea, and there's quite a few. She messaged me when she was getting rid of loads of books, and when I say she did a massive unhaul, like I thought my unhaul of 50 books was a lot, but like she got rid of loads of books, and she basically spammed me loads and loads of photos of all the books she had, and she was like, look, I'm getting rid of these, I'm taking them to the secondhand bookshop, what books do you want from here? And I was like, okay, challenge accepted. Technically speaking, this haul only features 49 books out of ones I haven't showed you, because the one I'm going to show you now is one that I've already shown in a different video. You'll understand why though. So it is A Darker Shade of Magic, and this is by V. Schwab. Amy was getting rid of A Gathering of Shadows and A Conjuring of Light, and I think this is the second and this is the third in the series. And as I've already started this book and I do want to finish reading it, I thought, well, if she's getting rid of the next two, I may as well pick those up as well. The next one I picked up off Amy was Viper, and this is by Bex Hogan, and I know she had this one from the Swansea Bloggers Collective. I could have had this arc, but I didn't pick it up because I was being quite like selective with the books I was picking up. I thought I would give this one a go. Again, it's not like super high up on my priority list of things to read, but it is one that I am excited for, so looking forward to that. The next one is A Secret History of Witches, and this is by Louisa Morgan, and I used to own a copy of this book, but I ended up gifting it to a friend, and I hadn't read it, and it was always one that I said to myself I'm going to repurchase. Oh my god, I've just realised it's set in Brittany, which is a place that my grandparents used to have a caravan in France. And I love Brittany. Oh my god. I feel like I need to read this now. The next one I picked up was Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman, and shockingly, I've never read this book before. I have heard some fantastic things about this book. This is one I've been fancying reading for so long and I've just never got around to buying a copy. I did actually request the ARC, I think it's by Harper. Was it Harper 360? Epic Reads, I'm pretty sure, yeah, HarperCollins. And I didn't get accepted for it, which is fine because they send out loads of books. I can't remember what else they sent out instead. I think I might have got Serpent and Dove in that round of books. But it is Let's Call It a Doomsday, and it's by Katie Henry. I'm gonna sneeze. Phew! Even though Matilda isn't my favourite Roald Dahl book, I do love it and I definitely need to revisit it because I've not read it for years and years. This is a 30-year special edition. How gorgeous is this? Like, oh, thank you very much, Amy. Anne Frank's diary, and it comes in like a beautiful slipcase, and then this is what the book looks like. I have read Anne Frank's diary before. I read it when I was in year 5 or year 6. It was hard hitting. It's what sort of made me want to research more into the topic, even at that young of an age, to have like a better understanding of what happened. But it just is always stuck with me. And then the last 2 books that I had off Amy were Stalking Jack the Ripper and Hunting Prince Dracula. I've read Stalking Jack the Ripper. I listened to the audiobook of this. It wasn't my favourite book in the world. I think I give it 3 stars. But I do want to carry on with the series, and you know that I love Dracula, so it's going to be interesting to see what it's like. Okay, we're nearly there. We're nearly there. Can you believe it? I can't. Okay, so these books that I'm going to show you next are all ARCs or ones that I've had from the publisher. So I'll show you the ones that I got sent from the publisher first, and then I'll finish with the ones that I got from the SBC meetings. Skepta Books, which is an imprint of Hodder, sent me Other People's Clothes. I don't really know a lot about this book. It was an unsolicited book that was sent to me. I think it's kind of like a thriller. I'm not sure if it is a book that I am going to read or if it's going to be one that I pass on. I think I will try and give it a go because I always try to give all of the books that I get sent a go, even if they are unsolicited, because obviously, you know, the publishers have chosen to send them to me for a specific reason, and like I'm super grateful for that. The next one I won from HQ is called It's About Bloody Time, Period. As you can see, this is about periods and period positivity. It is of Princes and Promises. I got sent the first one of Curses and Kisses, but I did try to start reading it and I ended up DNFing it because I really wasn't feeling it. I think it'd be a fantastic book for YA readers, but I think sometimes when you're an adult reading YA, sometimes it can feel like too YA cliche, if that makes sense. If I carry on reading of Curses and Kisses and I try and pick it up and I do enjoy it, I will carry on with reading this one. But this one was sort of just sent to me, again unsolicited. I think it was because obviously like I was linked with the first one. So this next one is Twin Crowns, and this is by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Webber. Like, can we talk about how beautiful that is for a second? This is a new sort of YA fantasy that's coming out. It's about 2 sisters and a crown and like who's sort of entitled to it, who's going to win the crown, that sort of thing. I won this from Electric Monkey. And last but not least, we have Every Line of You, and this is by Naomi Gibson. And look how beautiful the sprayed edges are, and it is also, hang on, it's also signed. We had a signed bookplate. I also had like a personalised letter to go with it, which is so sweet. So I was part of like the Instagram PR campaign for this book, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was fantastic. We're down to the last 4 books, and these ones are very kindly gifted by publishers again, but they were sent to the Swansea Bloggers Collective. Basically, the Swansea Bloggers Collective is a group of bloggers, and we all meet up in Waterstones in Swansea, sort of like once every month. Obviously, it hasn't happened for like nearly 2 years because of COVID, but we finally met up again, and there were some ARCs left over, obviously from before lockdown. These are the ones that I picked up. So we've got The Burning Men, and this is by Will Schindler. It came out in February 2020, so it's been a while. And the next one is The Last Human. Sounds intriguing, and I thought I will give it a try. This is one that I was like really excited to get around to back last year when I saw that it was going to be one of the books, and it is The Midnight Library. Back when the publicity and stuff was going on for this book, so many people were raving about it, and yeah, really excited to get around to it. I feel like it's definitely going to be up my street. Last but not least, we have Incendiary. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Incendiary. We love like a floppy paperback. So that was my autumn book haul. I know I say autumn, but technically these are books that I picked up sort of this summer. I'm super excited about all of these books. I am like still in a big reading slump at the moment, so I'm not reading a lot, but I'm excited to add these to my shelves and read them eventually. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you've read any of these 40 books and which ones are your favourites if you read them, or if you've spotted any that have caught your eye, which ones do you fancy reading? Are you going to purchase any of these books? Which one do you think I should start with? Let me know in the comments, and yeah, feel free to give this video a big thumbs up, feel free to subscribe, and yeah, thank you so much for the support, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye!